We are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Champions Cup round of 16. This one, Bordeaux at home, taking on the Leicester Tigers. Now, this game is anticipated to be one of the more one-sided games of the round of 16. Bordeaux have looked strong from start to finish, but a couple upsets along the way in this competition, as well as the Challenge Cup, mean that maybe there is still a chance for the Leicester Tigers to get themselves a victory here. The Dragons have just proven that it is not impossible to win a game in France, but it's going to take a monumental effort from this Leicester Tigers side. Straight away, I do want to apologise for any time that my voice sounds pretty rough, any time I sneeze, any time I sniffle. I am still very sick, unfortunately, and you might see me sweating throughout this one. I've got a pretty high fever, but we're ready to go for a couple games here, and this one should be a high-scoring one. The Leicester Tigers, even though they have been struggling at times throughout the Premiership, they are still a try-scoring side that can do a lot of damage. This is a very strong backline for Leicester and Bordeaux. I mean, we've seen them throughout this competition. There is a reason that they are considered as one of the favourites, but I will say, whoever wins this game, they go on to face up against Toulouse. So we could see a really awesome top 14 clash coming around the corner for this competition. I'm no Stormers fan, but the Stormers were absolutely robbed yesterday. Says Davian. Yeah, they did lose by 1 point, and the Bulls also suffering the defeat, which now means in the Challenge and Champions Cup, we don't have a single South African side, which feels really weird, to be honest. But the good news is the sides will be fresh as can be heading into the URC games, where there is still opportunity to make those playoffs for a lot of the South African sides. Welcome back, Hamish says Given. Welcome in. You are doing extremely well. I was initially going to be doing those two games yesterday. I was hanging around in the background of that Stormers versus Toulon match, but I didn't want to punish you all by listening to me coughing and sneezing and all sorts throughout those two matches. But looking through at the starting lineups, first of all, for Bordeaux, they have got their regular front row here, headed with Lamoth in that number 2 jersey, the big South African Carlos Sadie there at number 3, and then Puro as the number 1. And the locking duo, the big Australian Adam Coleman is there at 5, with Palu at number 4. Cameron Waukee, he will be one of the dangerous players out there on the field to keep an eye out for. And that's the thing. I feel like Bordeaux, the benefit they've got with their forwards is they all love running the ball. So even if we do see, let's just say, a little bit more of a defensive-minded style of rugby for the early stages from Bordeaux, they still have so many decent forwards, can get over that try line. Maxime Luku and Mathieu Jalabert is an absolutely incredible combination. Most of our South Africans are playing in Japan or the Northern Hemisphere. That's why our clubs aren't too great. Says David, I still think there's more than enough class coming out of South Africa. And I know that some people have said that that is why the South African sides are struggling. I just think, unfortunately, for the Sharks' sake, in their game up against Connacht, they looked like a headless chook, similar to what we've seen through their last couple games of the URC, how they just haven't been aggressive enough. I think for the Stormers, their game up against Toulon, it's always going to be hard to win in France. They had their opportunities. They actually did quite well throughout that game, but they just didn't quite finish off the job. And then that game for the Bulls, the door was wide open with Glasgow not picking their best lineup, and the Bulls just not quite clinical enough to be able to get over the line. But looking through at the rest of this back line for Bordeaux, it has BLBRA out on the left wing. That man is very likely to score a try in this match. Mofana and Damien Pinot as the midfield. So Pinot playing outside centre, something you don't see too often for this Bordeaux side. Normally, I think it is Deportier. Finds himself at 13. No deserves to play for France. Super to France to drop him. Yeah, although they still won the Six Nations, didn't they? So I feel like, yes, it was weird not seeing him in the mix, but then if they hadn't won the Six Nations, I think there would have been a lot more criticism towards the French side, but the fact that they were still able to lift that trophy at the end of it meant that Galtier, in some regards, still feels like he did the right thing. And Pinot at 13 is on. Welcome back. Other commentators standing in. Viewer average at best, says Andrew, but without them, we wouldn't have had live streams. So I am very thankful for Haino for coming in to cover for me in the Champions Cup games, Rugby Itch for the Super Rugby contest as well. James O'Connor, the Australian international, he is playing number 10 for the Leicester Tigers in this game. I will also mention Salisi Rayasi has been absolutely clinical for Bordeaux. There's a reason that they locked him in for a couple more years in his contract, and that is because he has been taken to that 15 role extremely well after signing with Bordeaux. In the starting lineup for the Leicester Tigers, they've got Jamie Blameyer as their number 2, Van der Flair and Hurd as the propping duo. This game's about to kick off. I have talked too much throughout the early stages, which means we didn't actually get through all of the team. What the hell was Nonu at yesterday? Looking like a car crash. Says Cringy there. It should be a great game, says Jan Lu, taken now by Biel. The only way that man doesn't score a try in this game is if he gets injured early. He is just so brilliant at finding a way over the try line. He does it for the French at international level as well. Go the Tigers, says Kahu. Of course, the winner of this game, they will face Toulouse. Oh, charge down there from Leicester, but now Jalabert will kick this one downfield. The Sharks seem to have underestimated Connacht. Could have won that game with their first choice team. But the thing is, that was their first choice team. Now, backline movement, it's just gone forward there for that final pass, so it is going to be ruled out. Could have been a massive opportunity. Like, the thing is, the Sharks picked their best possible team, with the exception of maybe Andre Esterhuizen. But the part of it that doesn't get talked about for the Sharks is the fact that they've got an injury list of 20 players, including Manuel Tichuca, Bongion Benambi, Apelele Fassi. Honestly, I could keep on going, but there are 20 of them who are unavailable for that game due to injury. So that certainly hurts you a little bit when it comes to selections. I don't really know any Australian players. Feels like they're not really talked about much. As in like in overseas leagues. I will mention there are a few Australians in this Leicester Tigers side. Zaya Parisi in that number 13 jersey, and also James O'Connor playing at number 10. We see Adam Coleman in locking duo for Bordeaux. So quite a few Aussies find themselves in the French as well as English league. G'day Hamish and everyone, see the Studs Race. Welcome in. You are doing extremely well. That is the early penalty going the way of Bordeaux at scrum time. Jalabert will be able to kick this one towards the sideline. 1 second, we'll go like this. And we will go like that as well. And there we go. Now, line out chance here for Bordeaux. Just 2 minutes into this contest. I hope Aussie players I know, or the only player I know is Michael Hooper and Nick White, says Tyler. See, it's quite surprising because like they do play in the Rugby Championship, don't they? Which I know that quite a few of you guys from South Africa do follow. Oh, it was almost deliberately knocked down. No, in fact, the referee's going to let it play out for a second, but it will come back for the knock-on. Just a knock-on in the tackle is the comment there. And also, hey, Mr. Kiwisu, how are you? Says Tyler, I am currently dealing with a bad fever. I am still sick, even though we are sitting here on the Monday morning here in New Zealand. A lot of you guys will know I wasn't doing the commentary yesterday due to being out. But, yeah, we're getting there. The voice luckily hasn't gone away yet. A nice surprise on a recovery day. Says Fleshin. Yeah, we've got 2 games back-to-back. Bordeaux versus Leicester for this first one. Winner faces Toulouse. And then on the other side of the draw, we get to see Leinster versus Edinburgh. Winner faces Sale Sharks, which currently is the upset of the Champions Cup. They were able to get themselves the victory. The only underdog, I believe, to do so at this stage. Now the fever changes everything. You got to take it easy, says Robert. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm sweating out a little bit. Hopefully of the sickness. We'll be good to go in the next couple days. Now ball's in there for the scrum. Maxime Luku goes away to the left-hand side. Jalabert finds Mofana. Looping around again. Jalabert manages to get through one. Goes for the grubber in behind. A knock on straight back into the hands of Bordeaux. The biggest thing for the Leicester Tigers is don't let Bordeaux strike early. Because if they do, they normally strike many times throughout a first half, whereas this game being streamed on in New Zealand, says Freshman, so it is on EPCR TV, which is kind of like URC TV, except for the Champions and Challenge Cup games. Now, nice ball on the inside from Bordeaux. Maxime Luku goes across to Jalabert. Now, Poirot. Jalabert once more to Biel. Passes on the outside to Pinot, playing in that number 13 jersey for this contest. Lemoth, that was a bit high. And the tackle attempt there from the Tigers. And there is the penalty advantage to follow. Jalabert, cross to Mofana. Lures in the defence. Just can't quite get that pass right to Pinot. It was behind him. Ball's been put down, but they will return for the penalty. Right. Now we get to see how aggressive Bordeaux want to be. Because this is straight out in front of the posts. And what would be considered as one of the simplest 3-point positions of the day. And that is throughout the whole 80 minutes. But do they go for it? I kind of want to see them go for the corner, if I'm being honest. But I don't know if that is what they'll end up doing. Oh, yes, they do. That's why I quite like Bordeaux, to be fair. They just don't care. Like, they know that they're strong enough on attack that they can just go for it any time and have a pretty high chance of being able to finish it off. Now, that is the type of tactic that in playoff rugby can backfire. We're about to find out if it does. LeBoeuf ready to throw this one in to the front, taken by Adam Coleman, and here comes the rolling maul by Bordeaux. It's been collapsed nice and early from the Leicester Tigers. Ball is available again. Maxime Luku. See, there's Jalabert just lurking behind the breakdown, waiting for that opportunity to really attack, and that is where he can be dangerous too. The attacking 10 option, another penalty advantage against the Tigers. Going back across, Jalabert now with the ball across to Mofana. So linking up quite nicely already. Now skip pass into the wide channel. Offloader back to Pinot on the inside. Looked like he wasn't really interested in that one, Pinot. So they will go back for another penalty, and already this sounds like a last warning here for the Leicester Tigers. We are only sitting about 6 minutes into this game, and they are being heavily warned. It's going to be another high tackle, though. That is their second in quick succession here. Okay, that looked like Jalabert. This time they are taking the points at the post. This one was actually in an easier position than the first. So, makes sense to add those points when they are available. I'm going to see the replay. It's Lemoth again who's been hit in the head. He's actually been hit both times. We see that play from Cameron Waukee going back on the inside to Pinot. Just had it ripped off him in the end. But an easy 3 here for this Bordeaux side. Maxime Luku, normally pretty accurate off the tee. So I don't think he'll have any trouble whatsoever with adding the points onto the board. Okay, referee has just said that he will let Maxime Luku know when he is close to the end of the shot clock, but that one has gone over. Bordeaux take the lead in front of their home crowd. 3 points to 0 here. You have to say, Leicester Tigers, they possibly, don't get me wrong, they don't want to be giving away too many penalties inside of their 22, but it's not an awful result for them. They can now go for that long kickoff, try and force Bordeaux back a little bit, and get themselves some possession inside of the opposition half. Seemed like it was only a matter of time until they conceded with where they were on the field, definitely with the repeat infringements. Maxime Luku now ready to go for the box kick. He is outside, inside of his 22. So can find touch with it and does just that. Freddie Stewart takes it over the sideline, and it will be a Leicester Tigers line out. Whoever wins this game, they face Toulouse. Which, to be fair, if it is Bordeaux versus Toulouse in the quarterfinal of the Champions Cup, that's pretty much the equivalent of a final. Those two sides, slightly unfortunate to end up on the same bracket. Jamie Blameyer throwing it in now for the Leicester Tigers. Taken there by Harry Wells. Now moving away to the left-hand side. A bit of much-needed possession here for the Leicester Tigers. Jack Van Poorvliet getting it to James O'Connor. Now passing out to the left-hand side. Not a lot of space to work with there for Ollie Hazel-Collins, but cuts back in. But there is the knock-on from the Tigers. There's Bordeaux the scrum. It's a decent carry, though. Initially from the Tigers. A good tackle made by Jalabert. That's off here quite a bit on attack, as well as the defensive side of things. Just dropped there by Ollie Hazel-Collins on the way down, though. Thank God you're back. We missed you, Hamish, says Dirk. Yeah, initially I was going to be doing those streams yesterday for the South African matches, but got to about 30 minutes before the stream, and I had the realisation that I was in no shape to be able to do a live stream. I was in the background of that first half every once in a while, popping in with a few stats. But, yeah, still far from 100%. I'd say I'm about 15% at the moment, but we're back. We're still going. We've only got the 2 live streams today, and then I'll be able to rest up and hopefully be good to go by about midweek. This ball is going to be fed in by Maxime Luku. I'm going away to the left-hand side. Jalabert, Mofana. Now Pinot with the pass out to BLB Array. Bit of space for him. We know how quick he can be. Off of the mark, cuts back inwards. He's running sideways at the moment. Gets his pass away to Jalabert. Will be tackled 40 metres out for the line, and there is another penalty advantage in favour of Bordeaux. Salisi Arayasi. The pass out wide. Our Storms were robbed. But they were pretty dumb too. says Titanium. Yeah, what a 1-point thriller. And the end, I think that they'll look at that game. The thing is, they didn't miss any kicks at the post or anything like that, which I think was great news. Oh, nice run from Jalabert. Another offload there. But yeah, I feel like they'll just look at that game and go, they just needed to do that little bit more in those crucial moments. You know, we were talking about the possession early on in that game, the hardly touching the ball, hardly having territory throughout that first half, and not really making the most of those early opportunities. Jalabert going for the chip in behind, takes it nicely, offloads up to Parot. Now Bielbiaré, so many numbers here, but it's knocked on. But it is a penalty, in fact. Tell you what, that was a very close one for the Bordeaux side again. Big smile on their faces. As again, we are going to see the Leicester Tigers given a bit of a warning. Hope you are feeling better, says Dirk. Not yet. Or better than yesterday anyway, but still, like I said, probably about 15 out of 100. But get in there. Average at 15% is still better than the football, basketball announcers pretending they know rugby when they get in the USA, says Justin. And where can I watch this? It is on EPCR TV here in New Zealand. That is an option on Super Sport, I'd like to say it would be as well in South Africa, but I couldn't guarantee it. They are going back for that initial penalty in favour of Bordeaux once more. Jalabert, he was close, breaking his way through. And then the back line. Lamoth just needed to get that pass on the outside. Who do you want to win? I think, don't get me wrong, I love an underdog. But I do think I want Bordeaux to win so that we get to see Bordeaux versus Toulouse next week. Just because that's, once again, it's the equivalent of what would be a great final of the Champions Cup. Yet we'll probably see it as a quarterfinal here. But, like, that would be, for me, match of the round in terms of the quarters, if it happens. But the Leicester Tigers, they can be a side that throw a bit of a spanner in the works and change the tactics a little bit. Now rolling maul here, going sideways for Bordeaux. Ball's still there with Cameron Walker. In fact, it's now back with Lamoth. Looks like they're going to try and get this one rolling forward again. Oh, what's happened here? It is a penalty to the Leicester Tigers. So it is no try for Lamoth, who looks utterly gobsmacked with the decision, but it was 7 in the side, I believe, is the call there against Cameron Walker. And Shane the Bulls, never mind next time. I've Greek yogurt double cream with grapes and apples. Says Ruth, that sounds very fancy. Yeah, Cameron Walker, the man who has been penalised for side entry in that rolling maul. Something that doesn't really get ruled too much. Throughout a game of rugby, Bordeaux would wipe out the floor with any team. Yeah, but that's why I want to see them play Toulouse. Because I feel like that would be very competitive for the two sides. Now, the benefit is Toulouse came in as 8th ranked in the 16, so it would be a home game for Bordeaux, which does, of course, even the odds that little bit. But it would be a brilliant game next week. Now, that line out is stolen by Bordeaux. Jalabert passes on the outside. Pinot now to Reassi. He didn't decide to go one more to Iberti, which was an interesting choice. It did seem like it was set up for that backline movement. Tigers have Guru behind them. Tough, says Roof. Yeah, and they are probably doing a lot better in this game than many did anticipate. That's a great run forward. A short pass, but Pinot has dropped the ball once more. He made about 3 early mistakes in this game, Damien Pinot. Now Bielbiaré has to go back and grab that ball after the Leicester Tigers kicked it in behind. Now Bielbiaré had the man with him, slips over. Puts himself under that little bit of pressure. I see the Dragons bet stat away from home. Yeah, probably biggest winner of the whole Challenge Cup round. Like, I know Exeter Chiefs beating Munster seems like quite a big one too, but yeah, for me, the fact that the Dragons went to France and won, something you just don't see too often. Toulouse isn't beating Bordeaux at home. Says Dennis, you'd like to think they wouldn't, but I do think out of all the French sides, if anyone was going to be able to beat Bordeaux at home, it would be Toulouse. I see it there, Cameron Walker, just getting that crucial line out still, but again, Pinot. Just those few early mistakes at 13 for that man. How much you have a hot ginger honey and lemon cinnamon tea, you'll feel a difference. Says Roof, the only slight problem we've got is because it is the Easter weekend, everywhere here is closed. So supermarket's not open or anything along those lines. So I've kind of just been pretty much having whatever we've got here. Nice take there from the Leicester Tigers. Way to the right. Now James O'Connor, skip pass on the outside, finds Adam Rabwan running down the wing, but a good tackle made by Salisi Reasi. Looked like it may have come off the hand of Bielbia Ray. Still on the side of the Tigers. Into Lon Toulouse. See his roof there. This one kicked him behind. Nice take there from Jalibert. See his roof there too. We'll be about 30 metres out from the line now. Bordeaux, sorry, are still considered as huge favourites heading into this game. Currently, they are only 3-0 up. I feel like that's a decent effort so far from the Tigers. They've got themselves a line out here with Jamie Blamire. I think they were close to one of the biggest underdogs, though, of all of the games. Now I think about it, maybe Toulouse-Bristol was a bit 50-50 too, but I think that one was less of an underdog than in this case. Now, big run from Isaiah Perezi, the Australian. Was with the Waratahs for some time. That ball has been knocked on the ground, though, from the Tigers. Again, if Bordeaux win, they play away against Toulouse. Why do they play away, though, if they're a higher qualifier? That seems like a bit of a setup. Because Bordeaux come in as number 1 qualifier. Toulouse come in as 8th qualifier. Bath versus Saints are also going to be a good one, says Yanlu. 1 second, I'm about to sneeze, so I'll very quickly mute. Hide off to the side. We are good. And Tigers have kept French on a short leash. See his roof there. 1 second, we'll go like this and like that. And Bath versus Saints are also going to be a good one. Yeah, Northampton a little bit unlucky because they came in as 5th ranked qualifier. Bath come in as 4th ranked qualifier. So due to that, Bath actually end up with that home game. Okay, so Bordeaux will be at home then? Absolutely, yep. And they will like to very much use that home field advantage as far in the competition as they can. I think it's set location of the final, right? For the Champions Cup. I'm not sure about the semis, though. Now Maxime Luku again going to feed this ball into the Bordeaux scrum. I'll be honest, 17 minutes in, 3-0. Not a scoreline I was at all expecting in this contest. No one has scored a try as of yet. Now Jalibert looking to change that by getting the ball on the outside to Damien Pinot. He will kick this one downfield, chasing after it, but plenty of time at the back for the Tigers to be able to return a big kick. Jalibert, good take from him inside of his 22. And he kicks that one downfield, doesn't find touch. Ball now alive for James O'Connor. Does go for the up and under. He will chase after it. It's into the 22 of Bordeaux, though, and the mark called by Jalibert. But I wasn't good at 13. Says Dennis, yeah, it was an interesting choice. Them decided to put him there to get Pablo Berti in the lineup. Although I think Deportier's injured, right? Is that why they decided to make that bit of a switch? I think what I possibly would have done is just had Pinot 14 and then had Berti make his way off the bench. And then maybe you put Jansi van Rensburg out there into the midfield. Just seems like an interesting choice and an interesting time to make a change like that. Line out throw here for the Leicester Tigers. Jamie Blamire getting ready to launch this ball in. They played well against Toulouse 2 weeks ago. He was good. Says Dennis. Is that Pinot or Berti that you are talking about? There is going to be another forward pass. There is actually the call. So it does mean that Bordeaux will have themselves the scrum. It's been quite a few of those. Hi everyone, says Hano, welcome in. You are doing very well. Only 19 minutes into this game and only 3-0 at the moment. But no, says Dennis there. So he, in that game, was he out on the wing or was he... 1 second, we'll go like this. We'll go like that. Toulouse, we'll look at the lineup. Oh yeah, they had him at 13 in that game as well, with Midosh Tumbwe out on the other wing. Are we over there? Maybe forwards will score for Bordeaux. See, here's Ruth. Yeah, they may start to... Well, that's the thing. Lamouth was pretty close. But they just had the side entry in that case. But, I feel like we are soon to see some points being scored quickly. Ball on the outside. Jalebert knocks it on, but they'll go back for the penalty in favour of Bordeaux again. And happy Easter. See, there's Haino there. Same to you. Yeah, sideways in the scrum. Slow game suits Leicester, says Haino. And yeah, not many sides can force Bordeaux into a slower type of fixture. Now, Bordeaux have had their fair share of handling errors throughout the earlier stages of this game. To be fair, Leicester have too. Afternoon, Haino, happy Easter. Says Ruth. Yeah, it just seems like for now, Leicester, they seem like they're almost waiting for that big Bordeaux moment. Anytime that the ball gets kicked in behind, Leicester are more than happy to just kick it back. But eventually, one of these attacking moves from Bordeaux will stick. And then that becomes a really big problem for the Tigers side. Ball thrown in. Lamouth, that one was slapped back. But now, Lamouth down the short side, running hard, and will be tackled 5 metres out from the try line. Maxime Luku up to Coleman. This is the big chance for Bordeaux now. Do they use their backs or do they use their forwards? Cameron Waukee gets over the line, slams it down, and he scores the first try of the contest for Bordeaux. 13 to Portier, 14 Pinot, and 15 Bureau. The squad is lethal, says Dennis. And someone will have to score now, and it is Cameron Waukee, who does manage to score it. Just stretches out and gets the grounding. He's got extremely long arms, using every inch of it there. And that is brilliantly done by Cameron Waukee. And just reaching out, was close enough to the line to be able to go himself. And finishes it off. Oh yeah, happy Easter everyone. Says Cameron there. It is now the first try of the match for Bordeaux. Is it the first of many though here? Maxime Luku, he's got only 10 seconds remaining here. He looks like he's pretty casual about it. We'll have to hurry up and get that kick going. And it's a great kick again from Maxime Luku. It makes the score 10 points to nil. Or 10 points to nil, I should say. In favour of Bordeaux. Cameron, yeah, nice Frenchy forward attack on. Says Ruth. More tries loading. The game is about to change, says Dennis. Yeah, that is where Leicester really have to be careful now. Because if Bordeaux strike twice in a row, they can make a massive difference. That's right, typing this while on the field. That's right, typing. You're on a field at the moment. Finally a decent ref in this game. Says, big break and run forward there from Gazzotti. I just pulled the ham out. I got sweet potato baked a salad with a lot of veggies, black cherry jello, bananas in it, and baked beans. Sounds like you've put on a real feast there, Robert. Happy Easter, Hamish, and I'm glad you're feeling better now, says Joe. Yeah, although I wouldn't say I'm feeling better, I'm just not quite as bad. I'm still far from recovered. Luckily, I think that the camera hides the fact that I am sweating from a fever. That is going to be the penalty awarded to Leicester. Adam Coleman. Wrong place in the breakdown. Ref gets it, says Cameron. And happy Easter, Ruth. That one's going to be put into touch by the Leicester Tigers. We're about 22 metres out from the opposition line now. They need to go straight away, fire again. Get themselves another try. Or else, Leicester Tigers, if they're the next side to score, this game gets a little bit more interesting. Jack Van Porthley, I don't know. Referee has ruled it not straight in the line out. And that hurts the Leicester Tigers Easter buns with marmalade and cheese melted in the microwave. Says Ruth. Marmalade and cheese. Interesting. 16 minutes remaining in this first half. It looks like scrum is the option that Bordeaux have opted for, and that's probably a good choice. They have been winning the scrum battle throughout the first 24 minutes of this game. I'll mention there is another game just around the corner. That is Leinster versus Edinburgh, which we are also going to be covering on the channel too. What's on the braai roof? Says Joe. That man, BLBRA, he has yet to score himself a try in this game, and he doesn't often go a full match without scoring one. Normally, to be fair to him, he is the first try scorer in a lot of matches too. Okay, referee just having a bit of a conversation here with the front rows once more. Okay, at the moment they are straight down in the front row, says Andrew Brace. No braai today, just leftovers from yesterday. Chicken pies and Easter buns with extra butter. That sounds alright, doesn't it? So are Easter buns in South Africa the same as hot cross buns here in New Zealand? Or are they something different? I thought you were sick. Good to see you doing great. I am still very sick, unfortunately. But I'm doing slightly better than I was yesterday, to the point now I can do a live stream without coughing my head off, which is quite nice. Jalibert goes across to Damien Pinot. Now puts the grubber in behind. Now nice take there from the Leicester Tigers. Oh, big shot from Moafana. Yes, definitely Hamish, says Ruth. Now Jeff Van Porfley, another knock on. In the contact, it seems to be every time that happens, they just end up putting down the ball. The Leicester Tigers. That's probably about their third or fourth time, if not maybe fifth time that has happened. Did your temperature come down, Hamish? Not really, no. I think if I did have a thermometer, my temperature would be much higher than it should be. I'm currently sitting here sweating my head off, but it's better than coughing, I think. And my nose is blocked, so that's good as well. But, yeah, we're getting there. I feel like a couple more days and I'll be back to 100%, hopefully. Now scrum feed here for Bordeaux once more. 5.5 minutes through this match. Ollie Cracknell playing in that number 8 jersey for the Leicester Tigers. Morrow and Mann's also in there. We've already seen the one try in this contest coming from the Bordeaux number 7, Cameron Waki. Now off to the left-hand side, Jalibert pops it on the inside to Pinot. Drop ball, it's gone backwards though. Maxime Luku trying to find his way through. If there is a line break, it's normally pretty safe to think that Jalibert will be involved when it comes to that little pass up. Oh, ball's knocked back from Maxime Luku. Now Jalibert across Bielbiere towards the corner. Gives it on the inside to Salesi Rayasi. And just like that, Bordeaux have struck again. The best remedy for a cough is a large brandy, warm water, ground pepper, and a drop of honey. And we have there. Hi guys, I'm new to this channel, but I needed some kind of visual coverage for this game. I'm a lifelong Tigers fan, but I'm currently at university, so I can't watch it. Says Izzy, so your best bet currently at university in England, Izzy, or you at university somewhere else? Because your best bet, if you do have a means of being able to actually watch it, it's on EPCR TV. At least it is here in New Zealand. I'm not sure whether that is the option in the UK, whether it's supposed to be on maybe one of the other broadcasters. Josh Jake and Ruben Love. Yeah, I'm in England. Says Izzy. So yeah, I'd recommend at least have. In fact, I've got the website open. 1 second. I'll go to the Where to Watch tab and find out where the options are in England. The kick here from Maxime Luku. Can't quite bring it back around, so it will keep the score at 15 points to 0. Right. UK is... It's Premier Sports 1, which I know is like a whole different subscription service than anything, unfortunately. Quite an expensive one too. I'm really enjoying the stream, by the way. Says, Izzy, thank you very much. I do apologise for my voice a little bit. It's still a bit rough from being sick, but hopefully it's slightly bearable. We got there, Rayasi, well done. Says Ruth, yeah, that is now 2 tries for Bordeaux, and all of a sudden the score line sits 15-0 in favour of Bordeaux. 28 minutes through this game, so plenty of time remaining. Yeah, just to watch this match, it would be £18, which is crazy. That is pretty rough, isn't it? Which is why I was quite disappointed when I saw it was on Premier Sports, because I know that they are quite pricey. I know for EPCR TV, for the Champions Cup season pass, I think it was about 90 New Zealand dollars, which might be about £45 for the whole competition, replays and everything. Jalibert almost sneaking his way through. Yalbiare is still yet to score here, although it won't be too long, I don't think, till we see him cross that try line. Ball on the outside now. Big run down the wing. Offloaded inwards to Cameron Waki once more. Maxime Luku going in behind. Nice combination between the forwards and the backs here. All working in one unison. Nice offload. Maxime Luku tries to shovel it on. They'll go back. It's again a knock on. That's not bad for the whole thing. Says Izzy. Yeah, it's one of those ones that as long as you're going to watch like most of the games or a couple games around, it works out to be quite nice. I think it's maybe, this is where my maths is going to be tested, maybe like $1.50 per game or somewhere around there, maybe even slightly less. So like that's pretty decent because you get the Challenge Cup as well, which is quite nice. We see it there, just a knock on from James O'Connor, so it will be a scrum feed for Bordeaux yet again. Seems to be any time we get to a scrum, Bordeaux is the team that have got the ball in hand. Hey, this is £18 per month. If we lose this, then I don't want to pay that much because I might not watch all the games. Yeah, see, that's fair enough. Although, if they did win, I feel like the tricky part is you'd only get the quarterfinals for the month because then it's like the long break. But now ball going off to the left-hand side. Maxime Luku, Jalebeur moves it on to Salisi Rayasi. Offload one more. Bielbiaray cutting back inwards. He's close to the sideline. And just managing to stay in the field of play. They've been told to release him. Still 5 meters out. Maxime Luku goes across. Jalebeur. That looked forward to Coleman, who's dropped the ball. But they'll go back for yet again another penalty in favour of Bordeaux. This whole game feels like it's being played under penalty advantage in favour of the home side here. And if they're not careful, the Tigers could find themselves with someone in the bin in the relatively near future. French on a roll. Says Ruth in there as well. Yeah, at the moment they are doing very nicely. Bordeaux plays fast-paced rugby. Northampton Saints were given 50 points. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Bordeaux, in some regards, this is probably considered a slightly lower score for them. But not really, because they are just kind of warming up a little bit here. Now ready to throw this one in. There's a Maxime Lemouth. Tigers have to survive till halftime. They cannot afford to concede here. Nice take. At line-out time from Palu. Bordeaux plays during the group stage. So here's Dennis there. Now rolling more. Luku goes off the back. Across now in behind. Jalebeur moves it on. Salisi Rayasi goes out to Bielbiaray. Oh, he's actually put that ball down in touch. His teammates are celebrating with him. I think he's out there. And he's slightly run out of space. In fact, I can't believe that they're awarding this. That looked like Bielbiaray was out by a country mile there. On-fielder's try. Are my eyes deceiving me, or did he put this ball down over the sideline, ladies and gents? Oh, actually, that looked pretty good from that angle. Nah, he's put it over the sideline. So there's going to be no try here for Bielbiaray. 1 second, we'll go like this. And we'll go like that as well. A hat-trick, says Ruth. Oh, yeah, there's going to be no try. I don't think they had penalty advantage there. Yeah, no, that's over the sideline. Rayasi again, says Ruth. I can see exactly why they wanted to sign him for longer than just a season. So Salisi Rayasi's been a real handful for Bordeaux. You look through at this back line, and it's just absolutely stacked. Zebrail Powell, tricky one, to be fair. Like, you'd be inclined to say the home side, but Poe do have a couple decent players in their mix. So even though they're underdog, I might go Poe, but it could definitely be the other way. I just don't know what to expect from Zebra. One's kicked downfield. Nice take on the halfway line from Bielbiaray. Oh, he goes straight through now. plenty of pace. He's always hard to stop. He's got the nice shuffle going. Offloads to Maxime Lucu. And it's another try now for Bordeaux. So Biel may not have been able to score it himself, but he helped set up another one. I want to switch to Zebra. Who did Reasi play for before signing with Bordeaux? Did they let him go, says freshman? So he was with the Canes, I believe. I think that was his last side. He has been playing internationally for Fiji as well, but yeah, I think the Canes were his last team. And well, to be fair, they're doing all right, aren't they? But looking at what he's doing here, Reasi, they'll be slightly disappointed that he wasn't sticking around. But Lucu gets the try there for Bordeaux. There's another one. I will mention anyone who doesn't already, be sure to follow the Kiwi Lads Instagram. I always forget to plug it, but be sure to give it a follow. We reply to all the messages on there. We've had quite a few about this weekend of the Champions Cup as well. Reasi played for the Hurricanes, says Dennis. And number 7 and 9 scored, says Ruth. I need a way to watch Challenge Cup because they don't show it on Supersport. Says, hey, no, I wonder whether or not they would let you get EPCR TV then. And this is going to be a blowout, says Johnny MC. It's starting to get that way, isn't it? And unfortunately, the best chance for the Tigers was in the early stages. And they had to, that's a good charge down though. But again, Jalibert was waiting for it. Now he kicks it in behind, waits for the bounce of the ball, passes to his teammate. It just seems like everything is fine to their hands now for Bordeaux. Step attempted there from Uberti. Sick again. Says, gets an L. I am, yeah. And the worst thing is I don't even know where I got it from. Might have been from a funeral, to be fair. So it could have been worse, I guess. Could have been in the box. But now, Biel breaks through. Uh-oh. That's a big line break. He runs down the wing. Bordeaux will get themselves another one. And that is try number 4. We have got there, the score should be 35 plus in the first half. See Dennis. I remember him playing for the Canes, but he left a couple of years ago. See his freshman. I don't know why. I keep on thinking of him at Moana Pacifica, but I don't think he actually went there, did he? In the end, we're going to look him up while we've got this time. But now he's got his try, Biel. They're going for the century. Says Haino. Okay, so Salesi Reasi Hurricanes. Oh, no, he was at Moana Pacifica briefly. And then, he played one game for Moana in 2020, according to his Wikipedia. And then he was at RC Vinace. And the D2 in France, and then went to Bordeaux. But Ruthless at home. We coach kids too, so that is a hot spot for Flu. Says gets an L. Yeah, they all seem to love sharing bugs, don't they? That one's going over from Bordeaux, so 36 minutes through. And 29-0 for this Bordeaux side. No one's got themselves a double as of yet, but I don't think that means too much as of yet. There's still probably a high chance that someone gets themselves a double. Score should be 35 plus in the first half. That ball was knocked on by Bordeaux. Mistake from Mofana. But Leicester Tigers, they need a try before half-time. Because if they don't, they're in a bit of trouble, I would say. As I said, they're giving away 4 scrum penalties throughout this game, the Leicester Tigers. Good news is this is their scrum feed, so something that they haven't had a huge amount of throughout this match thus far. But Bordeaux making a bit of a statement here. They do continue to win in this fashion. It would be the most one-sided game of the quarterfinals. They might need 2 tries before halftime, says Studs Race. I think they'd be happy just to get over the line once. Just to give them some sort of confidence. Although, to be fair, this is a good backline. Isaiah Parisi change of direction. Ollie Hazel-Collins. Offloads on the inside. But Jalibert is there to be able to grab it. Kicks it downfield. Nice take there for the Leicester Tigers. Good tackle made by Maxime Lucu. And a penalty. Won by Bordeaux. They are continuing to just put that pressure on, and Maxime Lucu decides they want to speed this up just that little bit more as they take the quick tap. Salesi Reasi. Slightly isolated there. It was almost going to be the penalty won by the Leicester Tigers. And nearly 30 already, says Ruth. Oh, that looks like an injury. for one of the Leicester Tigers players. That sounded very sarcastic. I didn't mean for it to. Now Jalibert passes Mofana on the outside. Chance towards the corner. Can't quite get his offload away. Has been delayed there. Now back across to the left. Adam Coleman. Looks like he's going to have the run himself. James O'Connor. Right next to the breakdown. This team can't even score. How sad. Says Cameron now. Jalibert. Oh no, in fact, it's Pinot this time. Lamoth with the round-the-back pass. Carlos Sadie pops it up now to Jalibert. He goes almost through. Offload on the inside. Lamoth scores. And they are just running rampant. Here, Bordeaux. Lamoth receives the inside ball. Jalibert helps out his side again. French Rugby is on fire at the moment. Still can't believe they will not send a full-strength national team to New Zealand. So here's John. Yeah, that is now try number 5 in this first half for Bordeaux. This is slightly going from bad to worse at this stage for the Leicester Tigers. Forward player scored, yes, says Ruth. But yeah, he actually was involved in the play. Initially, Lamoth with that flick pass round his back to be able to keep the ball alive. And again, they decided to keep on attacking Bordeaux. Went for the quick tap. Keep the tempo of this game high. I need a top 14 subscription, but I don't want to give up Stan Sports, Fox, and Sky. I'm already stretched, says Katzenell. And that is sadly one of the reasons why I don't watch much of the top 14, other than like a few highlights packages, is because of the fact that here in New Zealand it used to be on Sky, so that was nice, but now it's through another broadcast option there too. 1 second, I'm about to sneeze. We are good. But now we see a change being made. Mans comes off. That was the injury that we saw earlier on, and Palmer makes his way on. Now taken by Cameron Walkie. Top 14 sells a monthly subscription. I'm considering it for the finals weeks. Yes, yeah, I'm a bit the same. If I was to get it, I'd probably get it for the final rounds. Because I think their finals in June, isn't it? Oh, nice ball on the inside from Biel Biarray. They're just making a lot of meters now for Bordeaux. Seems to be every single carry they're making at least 5, if not more. Great leg strength. Push towards the line that little bit further. Jalibert, short ball there. Mofana goes for the grubber in behind. Leicester Tigers, they will just have the opportunity to kick this ball out. They actually decide against it, though. That is a risky tactic at this stage of the contest. I've been told to use it. Jack Van Poorvliet. It seems like a... Okay, now they kick it into touch. At the end of the day, they couldn't really do too much there, Leicester Tigers, other than get rid of that one and call it a half. 36-0 in favour of Bordeaux. French Rugby isn't on fire in Paris. Managing to lose to the Dragons at home isn't a good look. Says Fleshin. Yeah, well, to be fair, like, Stade Francais, if you take them out of the equation, we're seeing Toulouse get themselves a big win over the Bears. We've seen Castres, they were pretty unlucky. The game up against Northampton, scoring 41 points and losing. Toulon beating the Stormers. So I guess Champions Cup-wise, they're doing not too badly. See, there are a few deep breaths being taken by the Bordeaux side. It's quite an awkward one because both sides have to go down the steps into the changing sheds, and they kind of have to go down together. Top 14 also has a website. It has a stack of games, replays from recent weeks, depends on your location. I think got blocked in New Zealand, says Studs Race. Yeah, I think there was one that was being talked about a while ago. That they did have the option. Well, it used to be that you could watch the replays in New Zealand, but then something changed. Hi all. Allez Bordeaux, or Bordeaux, says Young. In there as well. The second half of this contest, you wonder whether or not it will be more of the same. Whether it will be maybe a bit of a comeback opportunity there for the Leicester Tigers. Looks like a beautiful afternoon. There is still the game around the corner. See, Paris, not France as a whole. Says Fleshin. Yeah, see, I don't know well enough who else is from Paris in terms of the teams, or whether or not that Stade Francais is the only one, so I wasn't too sure. Teams, rugby, teams in Paris. Is it just Stade Francais? Or do they have another team in Paris as well? Oh, Racing 92 are another team that are based out of Paris. How are they doing at the moment? I don't even know if they're in any competition, actually. To be fair, no, they missed out on everything. Pity UBB faces Toulouse. Should it win this game? Yeah, although I do like that because it's going to be a great game next week. It's going to be an equivalent of a final as a quarterfinal. And I don't think it gets much easier either as it moves forward. Because then from there you face the winner of Bath or Northampton. Two of the sides who have been doing decently for premiership teams. Halftime talk, Tigers coach, crying dressing room, says Ruth, yeah, it certainly hasn't been the one that they would have liked in the first half. And the thing is, there was half a moment in that first 40 where it looked like they were going to go not too bad. And then it just, the second half, like, unless something drastic changes, I think Bordeaux score 50 points here, maybe even more. So that would only be 2 more tries in that case. How's Rayasi been? He's been solid. He scored himself the try earlier on, got the try assist for BORDEAUX, I think. Maybe. I think he was involved in that one. He was involved in one of the no tries for BORDEAUX as well. That side of the draw is disgustingly difficult. Who's on the other side? Says, hey, no. I mean, to be fair, the other side's pretty stacked as well. You've got the Glasgow Warriors, who were one of the top sides throughout the group stage. You've got now Toulon, and then Leinster and Sale Sharks. So, more than likely, Leinster and Glasgow on the same side. And then, on this side, Bordeaux, Toulouse, and probably the Saints are your 3 big dogs from what we saw last time round. Grab a bottle of Bordeaux wine. Share a glass with you all. Cheers. Says Chris Ace. We have got there, I'm not too sure, but I thought rugby wasn't too entrenched in Paris traditionally. Says Fleshin. Well, you've got much more knowledge in that department than me. I can tell you that right now. And hey, cheers. Says Ruth there. She's going 70-15 as the end score prediction. That would mean at some stage that Leicester are deciding to just take a 3-pointer. And Rayasi is fantastic, says Ruth. Yeah, he's been solid. In fact, you could say all of the 5 men who have scored are guys that you'd expect to score in a game up against a slightly lower ranked opposition, if that makes sense. Like, Lamoth probably expected him to score off a rolling maul instead in this case, but he did actually score off a bit of a line break with the link up with Jalabert. You'd say that Cameron Wacky, normally it's that work next to the breakdown that the big man gets over for at least 1 try. Maxime Luku, that support run normally gets him one. BORDEAUX scoring, and then Rayasi. I'd say the only man who hasn't scored that normally would is probably now either Pinot or Jalabert. I think that those 2 are the ones that I slightly expected would have scored at this stage of the contest. But there is, of course, still time for that to happen. And Mercy, Chris, says Ruth in there as well. Looks like they are doing a bit of cheering. During the halftime break, the cheerleaders are waving their pom-poms around. There's quite a few of them too, to be fair. They're all moving too much, though. I was going to try and count them, but I feel like I'd lose track very quickly. I think there's like 15 or something around there. But in terms of the confirmed matches for the Champions Cup at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, for the round of 8, the quarterfinals, we are going to get to see Bath versus Northampton as one of the contests. Glasgow versus Toulon. That is the other game that has been confirmed. The winner of this game goes on to face Toulouse, and the winner of that Leinster versus Edinburgh match will go head-to-head with the Sale Sharks. We have got their French cheerleaders shaking their booty workout routine, says Ruth. And we'll mention the final of the Champions Cup. I believe it's going to be taking place in late May. So after the quarterfinal round, we actually have a little bit of a gap before we get back into the action for the Champions Cup. Challenge Cup is the same. Some of those matches have already been confirmed. Come on, Bath and Toulon, says Haino there. And I would love to hear you saying that, Ruth. And that is a long season. Wait, so Bath and Toulon. So you want to see Northampton knocked out and you want to see Glasgow Warriors knocked out, right? Is there any particular reason why you don't like those two sides, or is it just that's the way that it's worked out? They're the teams that you want to win now. It looks like hard work what they're doing out there. I definitely couldn't do that. I'd end up coughing up a lung at this stage. That next game, Leinster versus Edinburgh. It is kicking off in about an hour and 40 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be covering it on the channel as well. Hopefully by then I do still have a voice. Over there's a song, KC and Sunshine Band, Shake Your Booty, says Ruth. Do let me know now. Score predictions for this game. 36-0 at halftime. It's about what, I'll be honest, I thought it would have been maybe in the 20s to 7 or something like that at halftime rather than 36-0. But if you had to give an end score prediction for this game, what are you going with? I don't want to be too harsh, but I'm thinking like 62-5. That's pretty harsh though, isn't it? Wires lost badly yesterday. Andrew Webster is a fraud. I should get the boot, says Katzenell. Yeah, the old Wires haven't quite been going as well as they were, have they? They start off the season with a hiss and a roar, same as what they normally do. And then they lose. And then they lose again. I'm wrong. It's very traditional in Paris. It just died back, but Stat got revitalised in the 90s to bring it back into focus. There we go, a rugby history lesson, says Leshen. And 60 points to 14 is the prediction there from Katzenell. So he's given 2 tries for the Leicester Tigers. Glasgow because of the history with the Bulls, but I might need them to get through with Leinster, so they may struggle in the URC knockouts. Yeah, it's a predicament, isn't it? You got that situation now, you're not too sure who to support at what time, because, of course, you want it to benefit your sides in the long run. 68-0, Tigers getting a donut today, 72-0. Says Hayno, so he's going same as first half, doubled. It's going to be a pretty brutal score, though, isn't it? Like, either way, at this point in time, it just seems like we're set up for something along those lines. Which is a bit of a... I mean, I would have liked to see a close game, but at the same time, like, Bordeaux, when they fire, they're very hard to stop, which is why that game up against Toulouse next week should be a really good one. And it's a bit of a shame that they meet in the quarterfinals rather than the semis or the final. These two sides will be very close to making their way back out onto the field. In fact, who's that? They look like one of the bench players at the stage. What we will quickly do as well, ladies and gents, these are the upcoming games for these two sides. Now, I will mention with Bordeaux winning this game, of course, nothing's confirmed yet, but it's pretty close. That would mean that they have a game here, up top, and that will be up against Toulouse. They then play La Rochelle and then Montpellier as their next 2 games. Leicester Tigers, they will get the week off next week, and they will then play Newcastle and Saracens. Of course, the regular competitions that these two sides play in for the Leicester Tigers, they are sitting in 5th. So by getting knocked out of this competition, it would actually let them hone in their focus into the Premiership, try and work their way into that top 4, which I feel is a pretty important place to be at the moment. For the season, for the for the French top 14, as you can see, currently Toulouse, they are at the top of the bunch. There's a lot of competitiveness for that second spot. 3 sides on 59, including Bordeaux. So in some regards, with both sides playing next week, Toulouse and Bordeaux, they may give a couple of these other teams, like Stade Francais, a bit of an opportunity now that they've been knocked out to be able to try and secure that little bit higher ranking on the overall standings. What is Bristol doing in the top 4? Says Hayno. And if I was the coach, I'd bring on the whole bench on 40 minutes. No 1 try converted. 3 drop goals or 3 field kicks. Oh. I'd be very surprised if they start trying to tap over 3s. Leicester Tigers in this case, when they are down by, in this situation currently, 36. And Waki is mobile for a huge guy. He is very impressive. Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier on, when you look at Bordeaux on paper, when they play well, you have a few guys that really stand out as guys who will score a try more times than not. Waki is one of them. And he scored in exactly the same fashion as he has done before, that pick and go. And the long levers, just getting that ball over the try line. Bristol was impressive in the Premier League. And what do you think is really hui? What I think is really hui. What is hui? I assume that was maybe pressed too early in that case, but I hope you're doing well, Robert. Cameron's thighs are awesome. I haven't looked at Cameron Waki's thighs too closely. Both these teams, I would say, are very close to making their way out onto the field. Next game will be starting in about an hour and 30 minutes' time for Leinster versus Edinburgh. I also mentioned during Leinster-Edinburgh, there is another game taking place. That is Po versus Zebra. They will get desperate. They will be forced to kick. Says Katzenell. It would really confuse me. What do you think is going on with the Ardie Savea and the All Blacks? The media are having a field day, aren't they? I've seen so many stories coming out about Savea being the main man behind the scenes, and he has all the power of New Zealand rugby and whatnot. But in reality, I think that people are just trying to get money and write stories that get a few clicks. Both these sides making their way back out onto the field again. At least your Hamish water with lemon juice, says Ruth. I don't know whether or not this felt like a long halftime break or whether it's the normal length of halftime. Normally it's about 15 minutes. Top 14 is spectacular this year. My club is La Rochelle. They struggled at the start of the season, but they're doing much better now, says Chris Ace. So they played in Challenge Cup, right? La Rochelle. I'm not actually sure how they've gone. Got the win over Newcastle. So they'll be playing next week. Who do they play next week in the Challenge Cup? Because honestly, they'll probably be up there in terms of big opportunity of winning the whole thing, won't they? What do we got? Oh, they play Ulster. That's a good game. And it's on at the same time as the Northampton versus Bath game, unfortunately. Benetton Exeter Chiefs is also confirmed, and Montpellier and Caen as the other games. Ever since that yellow card in the final, the media has had it out for him. Says Katzenell. Yeah. Like, it's one of those ones that we've mentioned about it many times as well. Sadly, the negativity is what sells in terms of the rugby world, and also it's the whole sporting world in general. Like, if you can find a way of making something sound really bad, people will click on it. Whereas if you have something that's like super positive, like for instance, in this game, right? You have your headline, Great Bordeaux performance, books some spot in quarterfinal. That's a nice headline. But what sells is if you say, Leicester Tigers, worst performance of the decade, Bordeaux slaughter them in Bordeaux, or something like that. Everyone clicks on that one. But it's just the way that people are. People love a bit of negativity. But second half, hopefully there won't be too much negative to be had here for Leicester Tigers. Hopefully they can score a couple tries and at least make this game look a little bit better on paper. So in reality, 36-0 is not the way you want to be at this stage of the contest. We haven't really seen too many of the players stepping up here for the Tigers either. There's been a lot of knock-ons and contact. Matthew Jalabert have Leicester even turned up today. They have, but they haven't. You know, they had a couple nice little moments, but then most of them have been ruined by a knock-on. And when their scrum is being dominated by Bordeaux, it does make it that much more challenging, but it is kicked off long by Jalabert. Inside of their 22, the Leicester Tigers, it looks like a clearing opportunity. Leicester Tigers humiliated in Bordeaux. Says Liza, and also we could be a repeat of the Bristol slaughter. Well, picked up by the Tigers. They will kick this one in behind. This ball's just going to stay in the field of play. Reasi was in touch. So it does now mean that the Leicester Tigers will have themselves the line out. Now there is big chance here for the Tigers. There is always that saying that if you score a certain amount in one half, your opposition can score that same amount in the other. But the reality of that is sometimes that's just not how it works. Woodward makes his way on. That is going to be a steal there at the line out from Bristol. Sorry, from Bordeaux. Bristol on the mind now. They were beaten by Toulouse, which means that the winner of this game faces Toulouse in the quarterfinals. A counter ruck there from the Tigers. Goes across to Jalabert. Will kick it from inside of his 22. Downfield. Touch the hand of the Tigers player. Hassel Collins. Goes across to Freddie Stewart. Imagine URC plus top 14 week in, week out. So here's Katzenell. I'm curious to see what happens in that Club World Cup. To see who gets themselves the inaugural trophy there. And Tigers round in Bordeaux. Says Fleshen. Now going back across to the right. Jack Van Porfleet. Much needed possession here for the Tigers round halfway. Taken back into their own half, so the 50-22 is not on. This one's gone up almost straight in the air. Maxim Luku has knocked it on this time. Jack Van Porfleet, a ball on the outside here. The Tigers with a good attacking chance. Nice tackle made by Damien Pinot. And the penalty awarded to Bordeaux. There was half a moment there where they considered going quickly. I don't understand how Leicester is weak, because usually they are pretty strong. Says Chris. Yeah, I think sometimes, like, when Bordeaux are firing, I don't know if any club side in the world can beat them. And unfortunately for Leicester, there was probably about 10 minutes in the first half where Bordeaux weren't firing. And that's when Leicester had to really take control of this game. But unfortunately, after that 10 minutes was gone, they then just took it to that next level for Bordeaux. Ready for the line out here. Thrown in, nicely taken by Cameron Waukee. Sometimes the competition can be overwhelming. Oh, nice pass. Now tackled about 25 metres out from the try line. Maxime Luku goes across there. Damien Pinot throws the ball straight into the hands of Isaiah Parisi. It's going to become a foot race. Louis Biarray, he won't get there. And the first try of the second half, scored by the Leicester Tigers, and Isaiah Parisi does get the first try of the game as well for the Leicester Tigers. Oh well, that at least makes the scoreboard look that little bit more respectable for the Leicester Tigers. The crowd are absolutely loving it, or only the ones going for the Leicester Tigers. Comeback starts, says Studs Rays. Like Bordeaux, with 40 degrees of alcohol. They gave them a bottle for each player before the match, says Chris. But the try assist for the Leicester Tigers goes to Damien Pinot. Threw that pass right into the hands of Parisi. No one able to catch him. Do you like when it smells like barbecue outside at night? It doesn't normally happen too often here in New Zealand. Or at least not this time of the year anyway. But my nose is that blocked currently that I can't smell anything. Oh. What's happened there? It's going to be, I think, accidental offside from a prop from Bordeaux, which is now going to be a scrum feed for Leicester Tigers around the halfway line. Good afternoon. How are you feeling today? Says Mohideen. I'm at about a 15%, I would say. But we're still going. Hamish, are you sick? Yeah. Which is why I wasn't able to do the streams yesterday, unfortunately. But we're slightly surviving for this one. And also that Leinster versus Edinburgh game just around the corner. I'm glad you're better, Hamish. Our neighbours are letting us stream their DSTV in a few weeks. But I think I may have to stop by. See you now and then. What do you think? So here's Goal Story. I'm sure you'll be popping in and out for these streams. That one's going to be a big scrum from Leicester. I've been told to use it. I can't wait to the left. Hopefully Leicester can get a few more of those. I'll help them to make the scoreline more respectable. Do you think the Stormers did well yesterday? I think they did pretty well up against Toulon. And it was just that first half, unfortunately, that if you look back at it, there were a few times that they should have done something a little bit more than they did, the Stormers. But I think there were a few nerves in that first 40. Second half, they were very close as well. That is a knock-on from the Tigers. One moment, I'm about to sneeze, so I'll hide off to the side and mute. We are good. Tamati Williams rolled out the remainder of the season with spinal infection. Do you think that will affect his All Black run for the World Cup? Depends on when he comes back. I'd say they'll probably still get him in there. You should avoid wearing a hoodie. It increases your temperature high, which causes a lot of sickness. Wear something light. But if it's cold outside, you can wear a hoodie. Well, currently it's winter, or almost winter here in New Zealand. So the reason I've got a hoodie on is so that I can keep warm, because I've currently got quite a bad fever. Now, Pinot, going off to the left-hand side. Ayla's finally not sleeping. Says Rugby Itch there too. Oh, big Ben Tameifuna, I should say. Having that position in hand. But yeah, the worst thing is I was trying to sleep throughout the weekend to try and recover. And there were times, that's a run and a half from Ben Tameifuna. Just scores the try, breaking over everyone. He was an absolute battering ram there. And no one, that was probably close to try of the round in terms of an individual try. Ben Tameifuna, no one could put him down. He just kept on going. Coleman with the offload to him, and initially, it's actually the offload from Tameifuna that set up the move, then drops one of the defenders, breaks through another one, and finishes it off. Rugby Itch and Hano should meet each other. They are like cricket umpires of Hamish, says Charles. I did well yesterday, and Tim, says Mohadeen. Yeah, it was very handy, both of them filling in. That is very impressive, even more impressive that he is a prop. Tank Zinc, you'll get over being sick fast, says Robert. I don't think I've got any zinc, unfortunately. And the worst thing is, because it's Easter weekend, everywhere's closed. So you kind of a little bit, what's it called? A little bit of checkmate. Right, that was not what the Leicester Tigers were after, though. They had just done all the hard work of being able to score a try themselves, just to then end up conceding relatively quickly. Kicked off long. Taken by Damien Pinot. Maxime Luku will kick this one into touch. I don't think Bordeaux are done with their scoring ways in this game as of yet. Still 32 minutes left. Games you're doing next week, no idea yet, but probably quite a few. I know that, for one, I won't be here for Brumbies Highlanders. And that is due to my team's cricket breakup. And if I don't attend that, they would be very angry at me. So I'll probably have to find someone to replace me on that one. Hey, no, I was getting a bit bold in your live streams for the first time. I was a bit afraid. I assume that's because the Bulls were playing, though, right? That's his team. Do you have any morphine? No, don't think so. What happened? There I go for a drink and the Tigers scored, says Flesh. And yeah, they were able to score the interception try at the start of the half. James O'Connor. You also saw the big man, Ben Tameifuna, finish it off. Bordeaux and Toulouse, the two big in France, actually. And they will be playing each other in the quarterfinals. That's a brutal scoreline. Says Big Rick, there's another knock on. Smiles on the face at the moment. Jake Van Porfley a bit frustrated with that one. Good thing is Will O'Rourke and Matt Fisher and Nathan Smith are back for the Black Caps. They will play against Bangladesh. When do they play? They're only like next week, aren't they? Or is it the week after? I don't think we're a mile away from it happening. Where are we? 11 days away. How about that tackle? Says Liza. Yeah, I think it's just that physical way of tackling from Bordeaux that is forcing so many handling errors. You know, the game is bad. When we're talking about cricket instead. Says Big Rick. Now going off to the left. Jalibert, all slightly deflected. Over the hand, Bielbiare. This actually doesn't work out for the Tigers because it was touched, which actually means it becomes a Bordeaux line-out. And ready for the Sevens Championship. Yeah, that has also taken place in only a couple weeks' time. 30 minutes remain here. Nathan Smith should play more consistently. He will definitely be next Shane Bond if he stays consistent, says Charles. And the French flair again, says Ruth there. Couple changes being made. Maxime Luku going off the field. A massive cheer from the crowd for him. Once again showing just how dangerous he can be in that Bordeaux 9 jersey. I think Jacob Duffy, Lockie Ferguson, Will O'Rourke should be our main bowling three. Matt Henry seems to have lost rhythm in the IPL, says Charles. Now Lemouth thrown in, nicely taken. Oh, Jancy Funds Rensburg just lost his own footing. And he might be down actually here. Might be a calf muscle. A penalty awarded to the Leicester Tigers. I think Jancy Funds Rensburg is done for the day here, ladies and gentlemen. And he's only just made his way onto the field. Might be ankle. In fact, I get 100% soon. Quality fish and veggies. See ya. Says, cool. What are the games you're doing? You don't look well. Please take care of yourself. We need you. Says Mohadeen. So the next game that I have got is Leinster versus Edinburgh. Yeah, that looks like just the ankle's gotten stuck there on the turf. He's only just made his way on, and more than likely now we will get to see the change of Hugo Ruiz making his way on. Now, I'd assume that was not initially who they were going to be bringing him on for. You should eat some dark chocolate, says Charles. We don't have any dark chocolate, unfortunately. One second, we'll go like this. There we go. Yeah, Jancy Funds Rensburg, where were you yesterday? Says Mornay, I was behind the scenes for that Stormers versus Toulon game. I heard every once in a while in the background, but unfortunately sick, so didn't get to cover those ones as well as I would have liked to. Rios will make his way on. 29 minutes remaining in this contest. It was the penalty won by the Leicester Tigers, who have now got themselves the line out. Chris, have fun, enjoy, happy Easter, says Ruth. 6 tries at the moment for Bordeaux in this contest. 7 points for Leicester. And it's another drop ball. Okay, sounds like it was knocked on by Bordeaux first. Second by Leicester, so it will still be a scrum feed for Leicester. Bad injury, yikes. The good thing is that our all-whites New Zealand team beat Chile 4-1. Solid. But now that is all of the backline changes made for Bordeaux, which means the rest of the players do have to go the full 80. So you're saying there's a chance. Says Big Rig. I mean, if they can score 5 more tries, that actually wouldn't be enough. Now that I think about it, they need to score 5 tries and something. But 6 tries in 28 minutes will put them right back in this game. But the reality is that's going to be very hard to do. Definitely when they've just given the ball straight back into the hands of Biel Biarray. Trying to get the back line going. Didn't end up working out. Liebenberg making the tackle now. Jalabert kicking in behind, looking for a 50-22. Gets it over the head of the Leicester Tigers player. And it goes into touch. Brilliant kick downfield from Jalabert. They just need Bordeaux to get 6 or 7 red cards. Says Big Rig. And maybe the muscles weren't warmed up. That's when injuries normally happen. You look better than I feel, mate, after yesterday. Says Fleshin. And also we have got even a single attack from the Tigers I saw, says Charles. And also ligament for sure, long injury. And E-House says Dame set match, welcome in. Lemonade Disprin. Honey, chuck it in the microwave for a minute. Then chuck a coral menthol lolly in it and let it dissolve. Definitely clear your sinuses, says Studs Race. Now Lemouth ready to throw this one in about 12 metres from the line here. Now I have 2 men that haven't scored yet in this game that I felt would have. That is Jalabert and Pinot. Now, I think we're going to see one of them score off this move. Unless the Leicester Tigers can force them into touch. They have not quite done so, though. Oh, there was a knock-on on the ground. That looked like a knock-on on the ground. But it seems like it's going to be play on just for now. The crowd getting behind their team. A pass across to Ben Tame Funa. It's proven to be a real handful in terms of putting him down. Big two-man tackle there again. There is a knock-on from Bordeaux, though. Massage with Vicks Vapor Rub Hamish with hot chocolate, says Ruth. And also, Hamish Honey is the best, says Charles. Now, the Leicester Tigers, they have survived this move, to be fair. There was actually a knock-on prior to that one that they hadn't called. But it's the extra pressure that they're trying to put on in the breakdowns now. I know Sid Vicious, but what is the story, says Chris A. So I assume that's from when he jumped off the turnbuckle and snapped his leg in half, didn't he? 43-7. Scoreline at the moment. Dark chocolate is full of cadmium. What is cadmium? Is it good or bad for you? I'd assume it's bad for you. I've never heard of cadmium. We have good there, bro. Do you go on holiday? Or did you go on holiday? Not in the end. Due to being sick, unfortunately. I missed out. But, yeah, timing was awful, sadly, with when I ended up getting sick. So, kind of threw a spanner in the works. Now, BLBRA, the ball on the inside. And another penalty awarded to the Leicester Tigers. And to back, as his work cut out for him, to throw in Jalabert and that 10 jersey for France. I sometimes praise Jalabert maybe a little bit too much. But I also think that the praise is justified. I think at the moment he is one of the best fly halves, probably top 5 in world rugby today. Which is bold, but I think almost even top 3. Can you explain the finals format tweaks? I didn't know that there were tweaks. I know that next week we've got the quarterfinals, and then we've got about a month away, and then it goes back into the next stage, which is the semis. I was going to live cover Edinburgh versus Leinster. I'm going to be here for that one as well. Wait, so who's going to be the dude for your next live? No, it's still me. George Ford is pretty good too. Says Big Rig, one moment, I'm about to sneeze, so I will hide off to the side. We are back. Oh, here's the Women's Six Nations. It actually starts up next week as well. He is impressive. He might be top 3 or even number 1, says Liza. Now all backline. This is going to be another try. And it's Billy Searle. Makes his way off the bench for Leicester Tigers. And sucks get well, mate. Amo did well. He's expecting the KFC voucher. Says Nazi Williams and Jalibert is top shelf. Unsure if his attitude or Galtier, but took ages for him to get opportunities he deserves, says Studs Race. And cadmium is radioactive. You eat chocolate and you're phosphorescent. This is all very fancy, isn't it? So is it in like normal dairy milk chocolate, or is it just in dark chocolate? But that kick has gone over. And that's made the score 43-14, ladies and gents. At this point in time, Leicester have outscored Bordeaux in the second half. So that's something to take away from the contest. They're going to need a lot more tries, though. Another 5 here before the end of the game, but they're on par. They keep on scoring at the rate that they have been for the second half to at least get that little bit closer. Dark chocolate's healthy, mate, says Nazi. Stormers should have been awarded penalty try after that rapid rolling ball. Even the commentator mentioned it yellow. Zerv, what about the penalty try? Says Mornay. Ball's in the hands of the Leicester Tigers now. I should have clarified myself. I was talking about the Super League finals format tweaks. The Super League finals. As in like the English Rugby League, right? Is that the Super League? Andrew Brace just asking one of the players if he's got something wrong with his neck. I think he's going to be all right to continue. Lamouth. with another line-out chance. In fact, I think they've made the change now. It is Barlow. Pinot, Jehu, Jalabert are missing something, says Chris. So what would you say they're missing? That one's going to be thrown. That wasn't straight, but not contested, so it is play on. Jalabert offloads it up to Salisi Reasi. Now back across there, Adam Coleman. Oh, this might be an injury. Oh, no, knock on from Damien Pinot again here. I think this is the worst game I've ever seen Damien Pinot play. Meanwhile, his side are winning 43-14. He has hardly been able to catch the ball throughout this match. He does seem to be the only one on his team who is consistently struggling. For the steal and the breakdown, Bordeaux unable to get it now. 20 minutes remain. Loose tackles there from Bordeaux. There's going to be a knock on, though. Coleman does clean it up. They'll go back for the scrum, though. What did you think about the Bulls' performance yesterday? It could have gone either way. I haven't actually seen that game yet. So I'll end up watching it probably a little bit later on. I ate too much chocolate. Says Big Rig. Who did Pinot? You think he's had a good Easter? Maybe it's affecting his performance. But yeah, it's just kind of been weird that Pinot has been struggling. Too much ego. I mean, Galtier wants humble players. Says Chris Ace. Is that why he left Pinot out of his Six Nations squad then? It's a good game to struggle in, says Fleshin. Yeah, you'd much rather your team winning by, 30 points or so and struggling than to have a game where you struggle and then you lose narrowly. I think it's because he did not play 13. Says Sean. You seem a strong-minded, balanced individual. Any advice for a human not happy about the Warriors' loss? Don't put money on them because they're doing what they've done a lot of times over. They love to get off to that quick-fire start, but then they normally have those few weeks. And the thing is, I don't think it's over yet in terms of the Warriors' frustration, but bear with them. Top 8 is all they need. Zai Parisi, he will make his way off the field. In fact, who are they playing next round? The Wars. See, they're playing the Storm away from home. Would not surprise me one bit if they somehow get the win. Are you going to look at the Stormers versus the Live Match since you weren't there? Says Morning. I was there for the first half, though. I'll watch the second half at some stage. But yeah, while Haino was doing the commentary, I was in the background every once in a while, popping in a little bit of analysis. Now Jalabert back up to his feet. Offload there again to Barlow. Searching for the ball. Retier goes to Jalabert. 2 men manages to get the charge down. Now back across. Damien Pinot has Biarray with them. Cuts on the inside. Did you know this year is the 50th Hong Kong Sevens? They're making a commemorative book for it. I know someone who will get an interview. I might get a pick in that book. I know that they had the 50th anniversary ad, and I saw a certain Macho Man in that hype package for it. You'd know a thing or two about him, wouldn't you? But now this ball's going to go high. Hazel Collins unable to grab it. Now loose ball again. Twice in a row that it was dropped by Leicester Tigers, but the good news is both times the ball travelled backwards. Now Searle. For a 50-22. It was almost on for a second, but the ball bounces back infield. Now Ruiz, he's kind of isolated himself a little bit there. Jalabert has done quite well in the breakdown, or at least it seemed that way, but the penalty will go the way of the Leicester Tigers. 87 Joe, yeah, says Big Rig. When was the last time you visited a restaurant, says Charles? Probably about a month ago, maybe a little bit less than a month, probably about 3 weeks. I've been told to use it again. It's available for the Tigers. They've actually had a very good second half here. Looking at the score being 36-0 at half time, it could have gone completely the other way. Were you ill yesterday? You seem better today? Yeah, I was. And I am still ill now. I just try and hide it a little bit. But, yeah. It's a terrible time for a cough, wasn't it? But we're doing all right. It could be worse. My head's luckily not throbbing like it was yesterday, so that's a bonus. And how have the Warriors snuck? And I'm sure Tony is on his honeymoon. says Flesh, and that is another penalty. That is awarded to Bordeaux. Jalibert trying to use it quickly. They've got the knock-on advantage, so they will get the scrum. I think they're just checking to see if he was back 10. He was not. So will be awarded as just a penalty. Storm got smashed in the 50s. Are they angry now? Yeah, their game didn't quite go the way that I expected. I thought it was going to be slightly closer than 50-10. Right, just a penalty. This is the ruling there. The ref, please behave. Says Nazi. Now kicking it off his left boot, Ruiz. Has put it into touch. Already 64 minutes down in this game. And again, scoreboard doesn't look too shabby for the Leicester Tigers. It's not great, don't get me wrong, but 36-0 at halftime to be 43-14 currently. Once again, I think they'd take that for now. It's not ideal, but it could be worse. I'm calling it. And I average and everyone get well soon, says Studs Race. So yeah, we will see you later on. How's it going there, Nazi? Says Roof. Now picked up by Jalibert, delays his pass. That was a weird offload there. Attempted by the Bordeaux number 20. There is another knock on. Almost seems like Bordeaux have gone into cruise control here. They aren't really pushing the tempo. They're making a few silly mistakes with ball in hand. But it seems like they're pretty happy with where they sit and they're just waiting for the full-time whistle. Maybe trying to avoid injuries is the better way of describing it, because they did lose Jancy van Rensburg not too long ago. What do you think of the fixtures of next weekend? Champions Cup quarterfinals still already confirmed. Bath versus Northampton will be an interesting one. Northampton probably thought they were going to have the home field advantage, but Saracens losing to Bath threw a little bit of a curveball there. Glasgow versus Toulon should be a good match. And then looking like Bordeaux versus Toulouse, which I think is quarterfinal of the round. And hopefully will deliver. Not bad, Roof. Oh, free kick awarded to Bordeaux there. Hit and chase. And then the ball was fed in. Says the referee there. Second, we'll go like this. We'll go like that as well. But it is a free kick, so they've just decided to send this one up high. So Lisi Reasi waiting for the bounce and does receive it. Oh, they've ruled it as a knock-on against him. I don't actually know if he did knock that one on. He's begging the touch judge to have a think about it. Okay, Andrew Brace has said that's the call, come on, but it is the wrong one in that case. And Thomas the Toy, get the second half man of the match for Bath, says Liza. You see, going into half-time, it didn't seem like Bath had much of a chance in that game, did it? But they came out firing and did extremely well. And in the end, the scoreline, it was still kind of close, but 31-22. Very nicely done. Ball's fed in. Big push from Bordeaux this time. That should be their advantage. No, referee does say play on. Picked up by Jalibert now on the short side. Mathieu offloads. Sell the dummy from Retier. Upload up to Salisi Reasi. Now they start to get this ball moving. Nice spin there from Mathieu. Seems like now Bordeaux are going a little bit more aggressive. I don't know. It was like 7 years ago, but just want to know, how did you feel after watching the World Cup for 10 hours straight, and then seeing your side lose in the end? That's sport, isn't it? But yeah, it was definitely one that I was like, should I have stayed up? Possibly not, but it was still enjoyable to see live. Big run from Ben Tame Funa, again trying to break through everybody. Now short side, offload again here. An advantage for offside. Chance to get the attack going. Biel Biarray. Grab it in behind. Rayasi chases it. Oh, he's put it down dead. It was very tight, and I don't think he got that down, so they will go back for the penalty more than likely. That bloke was on the brink of signing the Warriors. We have there Toulouse versus Bordeaux is going to be a cracker with the quarterfinal. 30 points difference and 10 minutes left. We really don't need the TMO. Says Big Rig. And hi, everybody just tuned in. We are busy here. I think they are oh no, he got it down, sorry, my apologies. Did actually get that grounding before going dead. That other angle, it looked like maybe he had just put it over the dead ball line, but that was actually his head. Oh, he did slam it onto the turf, but Bordeaux now a chance to bring up their half century from this game. Now, lining up this kick, it is Hugo Ruiz, the left-footed kicker in this case. And I must check my lotto tickets for last night's draw, says Ruth. That one has gone over. Makes the score now 50-14. 11 minutes left on the clock. Bordeaux, they have well and truly booked themselves a spot up against Toulouse in the quarterfinals. That game's going to be taking place next week. No time confirmed as of yet for that matchup, but I believe they'll get a time schedule pretty close after this game ends. That one has just travelled the 10 metres. Mathieu takes it nicely, though. Makes about 10 post-contact metres. Bielbiaré currently playing quite a bit of halfback. In about 3 or so breakdowns last 10 minutes that he has been doing just that. Damien Pinot sold the dummy on the outside. Didn't go to Reassi. Now to Jalabert. To Reassi again. Just a bit of stagnant play there from Bordeaux. Do you think the last try had to be given yesterday to the Stormers? I didn't see it, so I can't really comment on it. Now Retier. It's back across to the left. That was his head. You always got the funny punchlines. And big momentum for his Froggies this year. The person in the interview was me, by the way. Haven't seen that vid with the Macho Man. Is it that the Sky TV one? No, it was on YouTube Shorts, I did see. On the Hong Kong Sevens. I want to say it was their YouTube channel, but I'm not sure if it actually was. But it was like a sponsored ad. And I thought, oh, it's Damo. That was a forward pass from the Leicester Tigers. So again, Bordeaux have got themselves a scrum feed. If you're in Ruth, give half to Hamish. Just making those meters easily there. Mathieu. I just said there, 14 all in the score line for the second half. So it's been quite nice work from Leicester Tigers to come back in some regards for this game. But again, the scoreline 36-0 at halftime just hurts big time. So we haven't seen a Pinot or a Jalabert try. Do you think 60? Maybe. I think that they'll definitely score once throughout the final 10 minutes here, Bordeaux. Because it wouldn't surprise me if they score more tries than their opposition for the second 40. Ball's going to be fed in by Retier. Both front rows have gone down. Andrew Brace watches that one closely. Oh, thought about going on the outside. It looked like they didn't actually have many options there. Jalabert tackled. Gets back up to his feet. Tried to go again. Now driving backwards, Mathieu. Ball is there once more. Seems like a methodical pace now for Bordeaux. Definitely for Jalabert. He's just chilling. Walking sideways behind the breakdown, waiting for his opportunity to be able to join up with the line. Loss of Van Rensburg is problematic for Bordeaux. Jalabert has been overused. Says Zhang. Yeah, eventually I think that pressure will start to get to him. Another offload up, and Retier is there. And it's another try for Bordeaux. I've got lots to do. Hopefully tune in for the next game. Says Bruce. And yeah, that next game is kicking off in less than an hour's time. Do you see that Finau's tackle? Thank God he hit a prop. Backline player would have been folded. I have not. I actually haven't had a chance to watch those Super Rugby games as of yet. Same with a few of the matches of the Champions Cup. I'm going to have to play quite a bit of catch-up throughout this week. But a great offload from Mathieu. Gets it up to Retier. And again, it's just that finishing ability of this Bordeaux side to be able to find an offload from pretty much anywhere on the field and know that someone's going to be there ready. But how many Tigers fans have already left the stadium? I don't think many would have. To be fair, if you're making the trip over to France to watch this game, support the Leicester Tigers, you're probably going to stay for the 80 minutes. What time next game, bro? So next stream will be starting in 50 minutes' time at 4:25 a.m. New Zealand time. Hello, everyone. Says Annie, welcome in. That kick has gone over, making the score now 57 points to 14. Score now 3-2 in terms of tries throughout the second 40. And again, you just wonder, are Bordeaux even finished as of yet? Kicked into their 22. Nice take from Pinot, having to retreat a little bit there. Jalibert inside will kick that one into touch. Again, there's no rush here for Bordeaux. They're already in control of this game. It's about trying to avoid any sort of injury now late in this contest. The scoreline probably not a mile away from what they expected. The Bordeaux mascot is currently doing a crowd surf. It doesn't look like it's worked out too well for it. Tigers are hopeless. See, John. Yeah, they will be knocked out of this competition, but they are 5th in the Premiership, so they will have the opportunity to fully focus on getting into that top 4. Moving away to the right-hand side. Another tackle. Currently the Tigers with the ball in hand about 50 metres out from Bordeaux's line. So another 6 minutes remain in this contest as well. Oh, almost another drop ball. It's one thing that has really hurt them throughout this game. Adam Radwan going for the kick in behind. Some skill shown there from Jalibert to be able to control that ball and pop it up into his hand. Now kick back down the middle of the field from Bordeaux. Might be a bit too much on this kick. It's in the in-goal area. I can back by Searle. There are a decent bars. And Bordeaux will be out and set and won by now if I were a Tigers fan. There's Fleshin, a good kick towards the touchline though. We see it there though. Jalibert just flicks it off one of his boots. Into the hands, bit of football skillage there from Matthew Jalibert. 5 minutes now left. We'll ask the question, yes or no? Will Bordeaux score again here? Ladies and gentlemen, I think yes. Line out here for Barlow. Thrown into the front, taken by Waki. Retier goes across now. And yes, says Big Rig for one more try. Now in behind. Oh, that was almost an interception, but now Salisi Rayasi going on the outside. Oh, that's poor defence from Leicester. They just pretty much let him run it in. And Rayasi gets the hat trick here for Bordeaux. Salisi Rayasi makes it look simple. Had about 3 men to beat down the wing. None of them wanted to actually tackle the man. We're going to see it here. So first tackle missed by Freddie Stewart. Got completely sold the wrong way. Second tackle missed by Adam Radwan, who hardly got a hand on Rayasi, even though he was stepping next to the touchline. The French will score again too. Says Big Rig there. And maybe twice says Big Rig. Yeah, Rayasi making it look simple to get around the Tigers' defence. And runs it on around. I mentioned about it early on in this game before he had even scored any tries, how happy that Bordeaux would be with the signing of Salisi Rayasi for more time. And he's just shown exactly why there. Now that's a lack of trying. Says Liza, yeah, it was pretty poor defence. Can it be 70? It theoretically could be. There's still another 3.5 minutes. And they would need one more try with a conversion to get to the 70 points. But 50 points separating these two sides now. That reaches up to 64. I was about to say Leicester score next. Says Fleshin. Nice take there again from Bordeaux. 9 tries to the 2. And this contest, Ben Tame Funa. Again, trying to find his way through. But this sets up perfectly for the game next week to lose. They were able to beat the Bristol Bears by a pretty comfortable margin. Nice hands from Jalibert. Offload now in the back line. Bielbiaré waiting for it on the outside, but couldn't quite get it there. Oh, Retier tries to skip pass. Pinot tries to kick it downfield. That is going to be an accidental offside. Oh, well, I tried 70 points to 15, says Ruth. What did I go with in the end? I think I went 62-5. Huh. Interesting. Man of the match, Bielbiaré. Okay, the commentators are saying there were 1 or 2 other worthy candidates. In other words, he probably didn't deserve man of the match. In that case, I think there would have been 3 guys that you put ahead of BORDEAUX in this game. I just saw it. It's a short called Rugby's Biggest Weekend is Back. I was spotted Amish Eagle Eye. See his name set match. Now 2 minutes remaining. The Leicester Tigers in possession again, going away to the left-hand side. Well deserved. He has been amazing, says Liza. All trying to get the steal on the breakdown there for Bordeaux, but it is still on the side of Leicester. Can the away side leave with something here? Now going off to the right. Across. James O'Connor. Ball to the right-hand side, knocked out of the hands. And back in possession for Bordeaux. They got 1 minute 15 remaining on the clock. They may look to go for one more run. Man of the match, Rayasi should get it, or Cameron Waki. BORDEAUX is man of the moment. The golden boy. Sees Flesh in. That one's kicked downfield. Oh, good kick too. That one does go into touch. Taken quickly by the Tigers. The ref says not allowed. Okay, the referee there's thought that the ball was out first. Bip. The best, Louis BORDEAUX, the high-speed winger, made us win the Six Nations, says Chris. And Golden Froggy, well done, says Ruth. So you'd assume that the player of the match probably decided, could have actually been decided before those last 2 Salisi Rayasi tries, to be fair. Maybe with about 15 minutes to go, would have been awarded, because the fact that BORDEAUX scored in this game, I think the assist actually went to Rayasi in that one, and his disallowed try was actually also an assist from Rayasi. So I don't know what Rayasi could have done more to get himself a player of the match award. Now, passing off to the right, ball picked up by Bordeaux, but it will be the penalty to Leicester. Never back onside. Do they go for one last attack here? So the Tigers are looking towards that corner. Now ball kicked towards the touchline from was Searle. Big smile on the face there for Carlos Sadie. I see Madosh Tambwe in the background having a bit of a conversation to his teammates as well. Might even find himself in the 23. I'm quite impressed with O'Connor lasting the 80, especially the way the Tigers are chasing shadows. See his fleshing. Yeah, from all accounts, he's quite enjoyed his time at the Tigers this season. Line out throw now. One last chance here for the Tigers. Currently, the scoreline is separated by 50 points, ladies and gents. This game has taken place in around 40 minutes' time. That'll be Leinster versus Edinburgh. Bit of a handling error there. They're told to get out of it for Bordeaux. And the penalty awarded to the Tigers again. They decide to take the quick tap this time with Leibenberg. Now popping it up to Henderson. And the penalty won by Bordeaux. I don't think they'll take any risks here. They can tap this ball, boot it into touch. Louis BORDEAUX has been everywhere scoring, providing assists. Hitting rucks and filling in at scrum half. Says Liza. Yeah, I'd still give it to Rayasi though, to be fair. But, like I said, he's definitely top 3 in this game, BORDEAUX. But the end of this contest now, 64-14. So a statement victory. They will book themselves a spot to face up against Toulouse, who won 59 points to 26 in their game up against the Bristol Bears. Bordeaux are class to lose. Would have a long day next week. Says Dennis. Yeah, it is definitely quarterfinal that I would say is definitely the... I don't want to call it too early just in case I jinx it, but I think it has potential of being the best quarterfinal out of all the games. But nonetheless, next game will confirm another side going through to the quarterfinals. Either Leinster or Edinburgh will face up against the Sale Sharks, and that is going to be happening in about 45 minutes' time. But thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all for the next one.